So, with science changing and any form of mishaps that may happen, or disease or dysfunction that happen around the birthing process, our research focus will become such through time that the whole process of birth will be quite effective. Which means the death rate of babies will drop considerably, and we'll no longer murder children because of the profit system that exists. And the murderers that's currently just chasing money for their apparent individual expression and uniqueness that is so important will no longer be in control of this reality. And this reality will be one of love is equality. Obviously, as you notice so far, as this is moving, there is no God necessary, no religion necessary, no spirituality necessary so far. You only have the beast so far, man. Have a look. Is there any indication that any form of mental disorder like religion, spirituality, or anything related to that is necessary? Atheism falls in the same thing because it's as fucked up. Is there any point indicating that any of those things are necessary? No, I mean, this is normal human beings acting within the normal way they actually exist as, which has been suppressed. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, this is nothing extraordinary. Now, you really do get people in this world that like working with children. Did you know that? They don't necessarily want to do it for money. They simply enjoy being with children. So, as the child grows up, obviously the primary care is the mother and the father, which are placed in a position to actually do it. Because their basic needs are taken care of. Their entertainment is the only place where they are required, or they'll have to work to earn or motivate. I mean, is it even a motivation anymore to be able to do what you like? It's no longer a motivation. You really enjoy doing it, so you're not going to work because you have to. You're going to work because you're going to fucking achieve something that day. That's the purpose of work, isn't it? To actually better yourself. Where does that exist? In our profit-driven society. Where we have prophets telling you what the fuck is the value of money. What about prophets telling you what the fuck is the value of life? That doesn't exist. That gets castigated as if you're evil if you dare to say that life is worth something. Just love everyone. Fuck your love. Live for real. I mean, how would you feel about somebody coming around you faffing saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, you're such a beautiful being. When you're busy with reality in supporting a child within this reality. You're going to tell that being to fuck off, go in the shit house and shit your love out and get real. Stop being controlled by the bullshit you see around you. Get real. There are real human beings in this world. People that really desire to actually express themselves in ways where their experience and expression enhance their life. Where do you see that? Oh, you need money for that currently. Now you will not need money for it. Those ones that do not want to do this, I mean, there is going to be a time where we will have to push them aside. We will not judge them. We give them food to live, but they will make their life unbearable because they're not going to clean after themselves and their own shit. And nobody else is going to do it. They're going to live in their own shit because they have no dignity. They have no consideration for life. And I mean, we are fortunate. They will die. And then in the recycling process, when they come back to this life, we'll sort them out. But we're not going to lick their ass because they're not even going to wipe their own ass. So you don't really want to lick their eyes, those guys' asses, which are not even able or willing to fucking wipe their own asses. Obviously, we're going to have a lot less people that has dysfunctions with birth, mental or otherwise, because real care is going to be taken. It's not going to be about money. Currently, we have a lot of people in this world that are not as functional as they could have been, simply because of our money system and the poverty that is pre-existing. So therefore, in this, a lot of people that is dysfunctional will no longer be dysfunctional. They would have had proper care. There would not have been any form of violence or conditions where they were not getting proper care at birth. Even those that do not want to participate as equals will still have access to all facilities. Obviously, we'll have, if necessary, a cleaning facility for those that do not wipe their own asses, to bath them first before we help them, so that they don't infect everyone with their fucking discontent about life. It's going to take some effort to change this world. It's not going to change by itself. I mean, it takes effort to wipe your ass. If you don't do it, there is a build-up of a peculiar substance that inevitably is going to get rather smelly. I mean, if you don't care, we will force ourselves to wear something over our noses in your presence, but we will still smile and say, we don't love you, but we'll help you. I mean, this is the end of the fucking fool's paradise that is being promoted through media, where you look at points and it looks utopian, idyllic. They say, what we are saying is utopian. How the fuck? You're living in a fucking utopian world. You just need money. If you have money in this world as it exists now in the money system, you are in utopia, because you can pay for anything and you can get anyone to do anything for you because you have power. You're in utopia. This is the only fucking utopia that is existing. It's the one that is on earth right now. This is not utopia. Here you're going to have to wipe your own ass. Those that do really care is going to have an experience of fulfillment and satisfaction. That's not utopia. That's a normal fucking human right. Oh, if I sound a little bit passionate about it, I mean, it is so commonsensical. This is really not difficult stuff. One must ask yourself, how can you allow yourself to live in this reality and not see these things? That would indicate major mind control that has been promulgated from very young, that one cannot consider that you as a human being is worth more than what the media and the education and the religions and the spirituality is telling you. You as a human being, a beast, a piece of flesh, is more effectively functional than what you can believe. Just look at it. It's really simplistic. I mean, what is the point of living for a life after this one? I mean, that's like delusional. Because where are you? You are in this world, in this body, where you are functioning, shitting, eating, pissing every day. You can't stop that and say, okay, I'm waiting for the life after here. You're still pissing and shitting, and you're going to do it in your pants. I mean, that's going to force you fairly quickly, within days, I can assure you, to do something about your condition in this world. And you will not give any attention to the world to come. So get real, live in this reality. Okay. And utilize your mental faculties. That is really very difficult to say anything proper and beautiful about the mental property of the average intellectual in this world, because you have been unable to see the most basic points about equality and about what is happening with the money system. So do not expect any form of respect for your so-called intellect. But utilizing your intellect within the pursuit of the betterment of man without having it driven by an idyllic idea of money to have power over others so that you can pay them to do shit that you should do yourself. Okay, so let's continue. After that, ranting. After that ranting and point scoring against the intellectual superiors of this world that do not even fucking dare and come and visit me so we can speak man to man. Weak links. Yes, we have contacted many of our so-called learned divisions that promulgate and promote a particular kind of society, that do not dare to question their masters because their masters are pulling their fucking strings and making them do things to harm life in the name of knowledge and intellect. This will end. There will not be one better than another. There will be equality, and the equality of your expression and your experience will be based on your effort, not on how much money you have. So, in the process of a child growing up, the first 7 years is the most important part in the support, design of the basic facilities, the basic parts of the child to be effective in this reality, to be a satisfactorily self-supporting being that enjoy themselves with stability and with a sense of self-worth. That is done for very few children in this world. Only those with money pay for a string of people to do it on their behalf. They don't even do it themselves. These kind of parts, the first 7 years of a child's life, will be treated as the most important education phase of any being. Because this is the part where the human being is diminished currently within the system. These things are understood, by the way. Deliberately, the first 7 years of a child's life is diminished and is made less, and there is no deliberate effort made to enhance the human being. Because there is awareness that if that is done, you will end up with a very effective human race. You will have far less dysfunctions, which means your doctors, your psychologists, your lawyers, your accountants, everyone in this reality will have less money because there's less dysfunctional beings. Money is based on having more dysfunctional beings that need some specialists' help. That is deception. That is deliberate harm. That should be called a crime against humanity. There is many things that will be pointed out and shown to be crimes against humanity. Whether we will actually have trials, I think we should consider that. As we speak, we'll start with groups gathering information that shows the deliberate nature of much harm that's been done in this reality in the name of money and profit. Yes, destiny is a gang taking on the other gangs of this world. We are in this for the turf called Earth, the home of humans. Those of you that are cyborgs that live off money, you're not welcome. You will not survive. the human race anyway. You are your own worst enemy. And for that we have employed the services of the viruses and bacteria and diseases of this world to rid humanity from all infestation of all that harms life. We will sort you out in your next fucking life. Maybe. But this is time to stop. We can no longer continue accepting the bullshit that is promoted as apparently civilization. This civil lie that is so nicely presented within an utopian method of entertainment is no longer acceptable. If one look for yourself, you can see that this is not necessary. We as humans are worth much more than what we have accepted ourselves to be. Time to stand up. So within the age of education, 1 to 7, obviously there is a lot of research that's gone into these things. The information is available, and there is also people that is more started to train in this field because they were making money out of it, and as the group of the elite in the world has grown. Now remember, the elite is those that's doctors, lawyers, anyone that has got a very good income because of their education, where they can help the dysfunctional masses and suck them dry so that they can produce more dysfunctional children so that the elite can live well all the time. All those has fortunately created quite a number of educators that do really care. So this will take time, obviously, to develop more, but it does not take an endless time to develop. On a basic degree of 4 years, a person can become quite skilled in supporting children in the age group 1 to 7, and obviously parents will have to do that, and many people, because they are no longer required to work to support their families, will do their own homework and become real responsible parents that know what the fuck they're doing. Currently most parents don't know what they're doing. They're just fucking and then having a child, and then they just try and keep them quiet when they scream. I mean, as long as the child smiles, put them in front of the TV, give them some cartoons, and they're fine. When you have then a dysfunctional child later on in teenage and beyond, and your child ends up hating your guts for being never there as a parent, then obviously you realize that, oops, I made a mistake somewhere, but you deny it anyway. Commonsensically, one is going to have to view your reality to observe what is the critical turning point in a being's life, who is there, who is doing support, who is really the living word as love in this reality. What will be considered within this, obviously, is that a tough action initially is going to be necessary. People that just have children and never actually look after their children or support them properly will have to be prevented from having children by the state. Meaning the state being all of humanity together that actually care about life. Because every time you bring a child into this world and you're not willing to take responsibility, you are immediately abdicating your right to have children. You are no longer fit to be a creator of life. Because after all, you are a creator of life. If you are not willing to take responsibility for what you create, you have no right to create life. It's a very simple thing within the principles of equality. This for now.